Looking at the loading animation in Netlfiy website, we can see that it uses 4 characters to create the illusion of spinning effect. That means we can store the characters in an array and repeatedly cycle through each one of them. We also need to find the perfect sweet spot for animation timing and speed to create the cool spinning effect. Okay, let's get started. First, let's set up the loader in HTML. It's just a div with an ID of loader. Now with CSS, let's center it in the screen and increase the size. Done. Now on to JavaScript. First, let's get the loaded element from HTML and store it in a variable. We also need to create an array to store the 4 characters for our animation. I am using letters here to see the animation difference better. Now, whenever you need to animate something in JavaScript, you can use this thing called request animation frame. Basically, it tells the browser that we want to perform an animation. I will explain how. Let's create a function called animate. Inside, we run the request animation frame and pass animate itself as an argument. And finally, let's call the animate function itself at the end. Because request animation frame runs only once, with this technique we create an infinite loop. Right now, nothing seems to be happening, but animate function is continuously running in the background. Now to see it, let's create a variable called frame, set it to 0 and increment it every time animate function runs. If we console log it, we can see the number incrementing, and it's quite fast. Now let's update our loader to show each character as animate function runs. Here I am using %, also known as Modular Operator, to cycle through the array elements. I am using number 3 since the last index of the array is 3. That way we always stay within the array. Looking at the output, it's working, but a little too fast. Do you remember when we console logged the frame variable and it was incrementing so fast? Basically what is happening is that we are changing the loader character every frame. If, let's say, we manage to update it every 10 frame or 20 frame, it will slow down the animation speed. Now there is an issue with our code. Because we are updating every 10 frames, like 10, 20, 30, and etc., this line of code no longer cycles the array correctly. So I found an easier and better approach to solve this. Let's create a separate variable called index that tracks which character we are showing. And if the index gets bigger than our array length, we reset it to 0. Now we can freely choose when to update the content and not worry about characters not showing up correctly. Try different frame intervals to control the speed. Higher values slow down the animation and lower values speed it up. And that's it. Hello, it's me from future. I forgot to change the letters back to characters. Also, you can see the final output. And that's it. Hope you learned something new. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.